Welcome to this week's weekly adventure and exploration into workplace topics. Today, we're going to challenge each other about how do you keep it personal? Because you think about it, we're often told, don't make things personal, yet it is personal. It's personal all the time. Good example, I recently received an email. I'm going to quote the email because it really made me laugh. And it goes, I came across Michelle Gibbings and I saw that you're into theatre shows. Although theatre is an enchanting industry, I believe that your shows can benefit from having a wider range of audience and ton more monetization gateways. End of quote. Now, given that you probably know my work, you'd find that amusing too, because I do like the theatre, but I certainly don't run any shows. The email was funny. It was just so far off the mark. If the writer of that email had taken just a smidgen more time and a bit more interest, they would have known who I was, what I do, what I'm interested in. And I contrast that to a recent dining experience that my husband and I had at a new Japanese restaurant. The host knew neither of us, yet we were made to feel special. They were interested, attentive, without being intrusive. They made it personal without getting personal. It's a delicate balance. Mattering matters. We all want to matter. It's neurobiologically wired into us because we live, work, and survive in groups. Picture this. It's a crowded room and someone across the room says your name. Despite the crowd and the noise, you'll hear your name. This is commonly referred to as the cocktail party effect. It's our ability to focus on a single source of auditory input despite the background noise and distractions. So it works like this. When we hear our name, it triggers a unique and automatic response in the brain, causing us to pay immediate attention. It's a really good survival instinct because it helps us quickly respond to threats or to opportunities that are around us. Now, research shows that this phenomenon occurs due to a combination of both psychological and neurological factors. Hearing your name activates the brain regions that are associated with social processing and self-awareness. So in your interactions, you want it to be personal. In a business context, personalization is about tailoring products, services, or experiences to meet an individual customer or user's specific needs, preferences, and characteristics. The company or organizations uses data, insights about people's behavior and preferences to create that customized experience. You see it all the time online. If you've bought a product online, the company will recommend products based on your past purchases or your browsing history. In healthcare, it can involve developing treatment plans that consider your medical history, lifestyle, personal preferences. In education, it can be used to target learning programs according to your own goals and learning styles. And if you've ever been in one of these, you'll see how participants can actually choose their own learning path. They can customize the program as they go through it. All of this, of course, is enabled by technology, which is underpinned by machine learning, data analytics, and customer relationship management. All of this software helps create that personalized environment. Of course, that's why organizations love collecting data on us. They use that data to better target and sell to you, and of course for other nefarious purposes of which I am sure you are well aware. It's the same for us in our day-to-day interactions. We collect data. We collect information on people that we like, their personality, their preferences, their lifestyle interests, things that they might like to do on the weekend, and how they feel, how they think, and how they act. These data points build a picture that we have used on how we have assessed that person, whether we like them, and ultimately trust them. However, our data gathering can be skewed and bias-ridden, so we have to be really careful what we curate, what we store. We also need to be open to deleting some of the data that we hold on people, because as we deepen our understanding of someone, as we spend more time with them, some of those data points that we've held might not be relevant. In fact, we might actually find that they're completely wrong. This is about focusing on our common humanity, understanding ourselves and the other person. You want to keep it human. Being personable, interested in others, that's a foundation for building really strong relationships. And look, you know when someone tries to network with you and the relationship feels fake or disingenuous, we kind of recoil at acts that feel false. Remember those so-called random acts of kindness that we've seen on social media, particularly during lockdown? They didn't feel real because they weren't real. We all want to feel seen and heard. You know what it feels like when an opportunity for connection is missed. You might have reached out for support. The request was overlooked. You might feel hurt or sad because something tragic has happened, and people giving preference to their own comfort turn away from you because it feels uncomfortable to address what's in front of them. And yet, the best thing we can do in all these circumstances is to be with the person and start a conversation. You know, one of the most potent ways to support someone is to just talk with them. This is empathy at work. You're not solving their problem. You're present. You're listening. You're validating how they feel. You're just being there with them. This is cooperation rather than competition, because being personal matters at work too. Think about your team and how you connect with the people in your team. People in your team want to feel like they belong. You know, we've still got lots of hybrid working arrangements and flexible working and all different types of working arrangements. And that just means that connection and care is more important than ever. We need to set aside regular times for social engagements, opportunities where the team can share with each other, laugh, connect, have fun, learn from each other. Maintaining strong connections with work colleagues, sharing how you feel, talking, being open about experiences. That's all critical for your own mental health and well-being, but it also aids motivation and it creates energy in the team. So as a leader, it's really crucial. Focus on building the cooperation across your team. And this isn't just in your team, it's also with your peers and colleagues throughout the organisation. The Australian social psychologist and author Hugh Mackay wrote about this in his book, The Kindness Revolution. And I'm quoting from this book. When we are competing rather than cooperating, we are denying the noblest aspect of our nature and indulging in the ego-driven desire to win, to maximize the benefit to us, whether financial or otherwise, rather than contributing to human well-being and social harmony. End of quote. Love that quote, so much in it. Look, humans have survived as a species because of our ability to cooperate. We achieve and progress through that collaboration. And if you want evidence so cooperation is good for you, you'll love to know that when we cooperate, it actually fires off the same kind of happy brain circuitry, your brain's reward system, as it does when you're eating chocolate or having sex. There's also research which highlights that cooperating elevates your cognitive capacity and leads to better results and tasks. There's a joy in connection. There's also a joy with strangers. Social interaction is crucial for our health and our well-being. And this means the interaction isn't just about with people that you know. It can also be interactions with strangers and even casual acquaintances. It can be that casual conversation with someone while you're standing in line to catch the bus, or someone that you've met at the park, or your local barista, or the employee at the supermarket. These are all opportunities to create connection. You'll also often learn something new when you allow yourself the time to pause. Notice what's in front of you. Take a moment to smile, perhaps laugh. Above all else, make it personal. As the travel writer Laurie McAdish King explained, and when she was talking about her joy of talking with strangers, and I'm quoting here, none of those interactions required my fluency in the local language, but they did require me, an introvert, to step out of my comfort zone. Each one started out a little awkwardly as I connected with a stranger, and each left me with lasting memories. Such a beautiful quote, reminding us that no matter where you are in the world, there's always an opportunity to connect. Of course, all of this is about making it personal and finding a way to make it work for you. And the key thing is to be focused and present, because keeping it personal, that does take effort, but it's worth the reward. Take care. I'll see you next week.